Okay, this is probably about the best angle I can get for y'all at the moment while I'm trying to walk around this and put stuff in, because both of the sides of this tank are really blocked. So I really have to move around the front. So I'm just going to put you at the side right now so you can kind of see what's going on. So my idea is the Dwarf Sagittarius to put along here. And like I said, I'll probably have to get some more. Then I'm thinking the Water Sprite will probably go over here. And let's see, where do I want to put the other one? I don't know. Let me start just sticking these in and we'll kind of see what we got. Oh, and then the that Java Fern, I stuck that on this piece of driftwood and put it in here. That didn't come with this order. I had actually picked that one up at my local PetSmart. They didn't have very many plants there, but they did have that one. And since I'd read about the Java Fern being really easy and it looked kind of neat, then I went ahead and bought that. Other than that, they had several like Amazon swords. They had the dwarf hairgrass there, which I kind of like the looks of this better. I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna like it better, but it looked like it had thicker leaves, and it just looks like a little bit nicer to me. Let's just see. Try to get the, we'll probably have to do a good bit of spacing on them, I guess, considering that I didn't get as many as I'd hoped. We'll see how these do. Try not to hold them too hard. Not sure if there's a really good technique to this or not. It seems like everybody that I've seen do it just uses a pair of these tongs and kind of sticks them down in the soil. Kind of want one back here a little more. I wish I would have, at least gotten just a, I wish I would have bought a couple more bundles of them. But I just didn't know how it would turn out. I didn't want to have way too many of them. And I'm really not sure how quickly those grow and spread either. I mean, I may not need any more. I don't know. Anybody that's kind of familiar with these and how they grow, let me know your thoughts and opinion on this. And I'm just not sure if I want more. So ideally, I basically want them, just to cover all this area in here. So I don't know if I just need to, if I need another one or two to kind of fill in a little bit more, or how quickly those will fill in. So let me know any thoughts that you have on that. Alright, let's see. Decisions where to put the others. Okay, maybe that one in between there. I'm thinking maybe put the other one here, and I'm not familiar with any of these, how fast they really grow. You know, I've seen some videos on them, but you know, different scenarios for what all you have and everything. I'm sure it varies how they grow and how thick they grow, how tall they grow, and how fast they grow. So what I've seen of these, it looks like they grow pretty thick, maybe get about this tall. So I'm thinking if I put one here and maybe one here, if they'll kind of grow over and cover that heater up. That would be the goal anyway. Let's see here. I guess that'll raise up with the water. I think I'm going to move this filter down a little more. Yeah, let's do that. Like I said, just my fear that I'll end up damaging these. I'm not sure how deep that needs to be. It really doesn't look like it has very many roots. Let's see. Let's see. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, now as far as the Anubias, what I have left over, I had several tubes of this reef glue by Seachem. So I'm assuming, you know, it's going to be same principles, and I'm sure it'll work just fine. One video that I watched, someone made sure to say to be careful how much you actually use, and you want to make sure that you don't get too much glue kind of covering the roots, because it'll kill it. So I do want to make sure not to do that. Alright, I'm sorry guys, my camera went out again. It said the memory card was full, so I didn't actually get the footage of me putting the Anubias in. So I glued one kind of to the top of that rock, and the other one I just kind of wedged in right there. I started to put one over on that driftwood in between, but I just didn't like the way it looked right there. So I kind of just changed it up and put these right here. Hopefully it'll do good there. We'll see. Alright, so the next phase is just going to be filling up this tank with water, and I'm sure that would be very boring. I guess I could set it up so it does kind of the fast speed through it, but I still think that part's kind of boring. So I'm going to cut out for right now, and then after I get it filled with water, then I will cut the camera back on and we will start up the heater and the filtration. Let me just move this around so you can get a better view of everything as well. So that's where we got the Anubias. And one over the top here. Alright, so I got everything up and running. The water filter's running, lights, everything looks good so far. I might add a little bit more water to it. I don't like to get too close to the edge of these rimless, but I might add a little bit more than that, maybe cut down on some of the bubbles. Other than that, you know, tell me thoughts and what you think about what I've done. You know, any tips or advice is always appreciated. Other than that, I think I might go ahead and put, I think I'd shown in the other video that I went ahead and I ordered Seachem Flourish for a fertilizer, and then I ordered some iron. I don't think really the plants that I have in here take very much iron. I think it'd probably be a good idea. I don't know for sure. Here's my understanding. Well, I guess it'd be different for the plants that aren't actually rooted down in the substrate. My understanding is that the substrate has fertilizers built into it that initially get things started, and I know that, you know, the plants will deplete the fertilizers in them over time. Now I don't know how long or what kind of period that is, so I almost thought about not adding this off the bat, but I guess for the plants that aren't down in the substrate, they're going to need some fertilizer. So let's see, this stuff, where's my directions? 1 capful for 60 gallons once or twice a week. So I think we're going to use I guess about a half a capful would really work for this. Let's try that to start with. Okay, so that way we have some fertilizer in the tank initially. I'm not going to put iron in there yet, and I'm not going to put the Excel. Let's see, other than that, I think I showed in one of the videos, I bought the Aquarium biological balls or bacteria balls to help establish the tank. I did put 4 of those in. It said 1 per 10 gallons, this being 36 gallons. You can't really overdo it on that stuff. So I did put that in there. I have the filter running on the coarse filter and then the biological filtration itself. I don't use carbon. My thoughts on that: I never did use carbon when I did saltwater tanks. I know that it removes bad things from the water, but it also, in my opinion, removes good things too. So I've just never really used carbon, even though it came with a little carbon bag. I don't see it necessary. I think I'll have enough filtration, and like I said, I'm probably going to let this sit a week at least, maybe a couple weeks, you know, to let these guys kind of get a little jump start without fish in there. And then I'll start putting a little food in there to, you know, break down. I might go ahead and put a little in there tonight to go ahead and start breaking down a little bit. The bacteria is something to eat, which I'm sure they can probably survive off that fertilizer that I added. So I don't even know that adding food is necessary to get it to cycle at all. But yeah, I guess that's all we got right now. Whenever I change something or do something else or add anything, then I'll do another video, so stay tuned. I also have the 20-gallon long tank that I purchased that I'm going to be setting up as a quarantine tank when we do fish. After I use it for that purpose and transfer all the fish over here, I may set it up in another room and do another planted tank in that. I haven't decided yet. If I get enough responses to these videos and enough people watching them and people commenting, you know, interaction about these freshwater tank videos, then I might go out and buy another one and start setting it up. I did a little bit of research on them. It's always been, you know, when you're talking about providing light for things, then it's not necessarily that you want a lot of depth. You know, you have to have light to be able to penetrate that deep. But I always like to get tanks that are kind of greater length and width wise. And the last tank I had was 100-gallon, but I just don't want to fool with anything that large. But yet I don't think the 20-gallon long is really going to suit me. So I think kind of really the ideal to me, I looked at a 75-gallon, but I still think that's going to be a little large. So I'm looking at a 40-gallon breeder. The dimensions of that look kind of perfect to me for what I would want to do, you know, as far as having a planted, like an aquascape section and some other available space. Because I don't like, in my opinion, and I know everybody's got their own opinions when it comes to this, I don't like so many plants that it's really just taking over the tank. I kind of like the ones where they might have an island like covered in plants and some of it's still just plain, or either has the spreading like low growing plants, like the carpet type things. I don't mind that kind of blanketing most of it, but you know, I don't want just plants everywhere. I like to have an open area. So who knows? I mean, I'm really just, it depends on, like I said, how many people want to see these videos as to what I do next. So if I get enough response, if I can get some more subscribers on board, then I'll start adding this into my channel as well. Like I said before, my channel is Josh Does Life, and it's just, you know, everything life in general is hobbies, and you know, I'm covering all that stuff, projects around the house, you know, quick fixes for things, all that type stuff. So I try to do as many videos as I can, and you know, it just, right now I have a real low subscriber base, so it really just depends on that, whether I continue to add on other things or not. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Thank you so much for the people that do watch my videos. Leave any comments that you have or any questions or concerns. I'm always glad to receive those. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope everybody has a great weekend.